Hi everyone, my name is Adriana Gentile or Adriana Scheffer, or Adriana Gentile is how you say it in Italian. And I'm gonna give you my story because we have a group here that is filled with fabulous, heart-centered leaders that all have a story. We all have a story. But it's my story that started this team, and so I'd love to share it with you. Please, in a judgment-free zone, I'm gonna say some things that I probably have never shared before, and that's because this is the team and this is a family, and for you guys to truly go next level, for you guys to be invested in your vision, it really helps when you can hear why someone else is doing what they're doing. How did this team even evolve? What shit did Adriana have to eat to want something better and create this? So here we go. It all starts with childhood, right? What is your conditioning? What happened in your childhood? Okay, so I grew up with my parents, both were separated. I don't remember them ever being together. I remember my dad would fight my mom to see me on weekends, and my mom would fight him to see me on every other weekend. So when I was in grade 4, I got my very first cell phone so that my dad could call me whenever I want, or whenever I want, and get a hold of me whenever he wants. In the summer of grade 6 going into grade 7, I remember that it was the last day of school and we were all playing water balloons and having a really good time. And my cell phone was ringing, but I didn't hear it because we're celebrating that it's grade 6, we're going into grade 7, it's the end of the year, you know? So then I finally see my phone ringing and I answer and it's my mom and she says, go live with your dad. You're gonna go live with your dad. And I was, okay, which I thought she was just having a moment. Before even all of that, I remember doing tons of midnight moves with my mom and her boyfriends. She would spend the week just putting stuff into storage, and then at midnight one night, the truck would come, the boyfriend wouldn't be around, and boom, we'd leave and we were gone. So I remember doing that. I changed quite a few schools. And now when I went to go stay with my dad that time, I woke up the next day and all of my stuff was in brown boxes on his porch. And she literally called me to tell me that, hey, all of your stuff is on the back of the porch. And I remember looking out the window and I could see her driving away. I said, you didn't wait for me? You didn't want to see me? I remember that. So now I was living with my dad. I have an older brother. He's 12 years older than me, but we have different fathers. And I remember that he actually ran away from my mom when he was 13, and we didn't see him until he was 18. So my brother wasn't really around. I was kind of a single child, and so only child. And so I lived with my dad, and I love my dad so much. He never missed a child support payment. He never missed anything. He was always at every event that I had, and horseback riding, this, that, whatever. He was always there. And so I was never punished. I could always kind of do stuff. And I feel like that's probably because he didn't want to tarnish our relationship, because good cop, bad cop, you want to be good cop. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So I actually, I ended up getting a job at a restaurant, and everybody there was so much older than me. And so I was captain of the cheerleading team. I did track and field my whole life, basketball, volleyball, everything. And so I started to get this serving job, and everybody was older than me. And so I started making older friends that didn't need to go to school. So then I started skipping school all the time and experimenting with different drugs and just not doing, just kind of going down the wrong path. So I actually ended up graduating a year late. I'm supposed to be grad 09. I actually graduated in grad 2010. I was kicked out of my high school when I was in grade 10. I had to switch to a different high school where I actually went to a combined studies class. So I was in what was a school for delinquents. A school for delinquents, okay? I graduated from that with straight A's, don't get me wrong, I did, but that's not where I started, right? So I graduated a year late. Then I started to hang out with different people of poor influence. And so these are things where I kind of struggle with sharing sometimes, because I want to be known for my accomplishments, not for my downfalls. I had an ex-boyfriend die quite dramatically, not very well. And that is at his funeral, where I met someone else who actually ended up being my son's father. So at the time, I had then graduated a year late. I'm hanging around with the wrong crowd, and I went on a tour around Asia. I went to Bali, right? So Indonesia, I did Cambodia, I did Thailand, the full moon party, everything. I actually think I got pregnant in Bali and found out. So I think Mason was conceived in Bali, and I found out he was alive in Cambodia. Try to find a pregnancy test in a third world country. It's fucking impossible. Okay. So anyways, find out that I'm pregnant. And so I started to eat for two. I was really uneducated. I was only 19 at the time. I gained over 65 pounds, which was unnecessary. I stopped checking the scale when it was over 185 pounds. And me always being 112, 115 pounds so young, I was so young. And I gained all of that weight, and at the time I was being called fat, pig, and whale. You're eating like a fucking pig, you're gonna be so fat, whatever. And it wasn't necessarily from my son's father, it was from friends and his friends and whatever. And so anyways, when I had my son, I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm growing this beautiful life inside of me. It's I'm this, I'm that, negative self-talk, all of these things, right? So when my son was born, I didn't think, oh, what a miracle. I thought that, I had to get him to love me more. So how am I going to get my son's father to love me more? It's to be skinny and wearing makeup. Because at the time I got him to buy a house up in Squamish because it was so far away from everything. I thought it would always keep him home. But actually it was so far away from everything that he was never home. So I was, I have a young child, I'm trying to get hot, trying to get skinny, trying to get him to love me more. So I thought that the answer was to eat nothing and run all day. So it used to take me 2 hours to run around the block. I used to go once in the morning and once at night. So I was running for about 4 hours a day and sucking on ice cubes and drinking those nasty Boost or Ensure shakes from like Shoppers Drug Mart, whatever. And so I did lose all of the weight, but in a very unhealthy way. So I went from over 185 all the way down to 102.8. I have a photo of it. So me at 5'6" was classified as anorexic. When my son was 3 months old, a very dramatic happened, and we picked up and grabbed all of our stuff and moved to Montreal the very next day. When I moved to Montreal, and I'm from Vancouver, that's where I got my very first personal trainer who taught me about actually eating to get to my goals and using resistance to get there faster. So through fitness, I started to gain my confidence back. And when my son's father wanted to move to Europe, I said, I want to move back to Vancouver. I don't want to be your +1 forever, which is why I'm so passionate about fitness and nutrition, is because it truly saved my life. If I didn't find myself and my confidence through that, I don't know if I would have been able to create my independence. So when I moved back to Vancouver, my girlfriend's like, oh, you're always in the gym anyways, why don't you become a personal trainer? And I was like, that's a really good idea. Yeah, so I went to personal training school. I went to InfoFit on Broadway. It was a full-time course. And when I graduated, when you're learning, they're giving you a free gym membership to Steve Nash just to practice your teachings. So I went to Steve Nash and I gave them my pass, and it was the owner that was inputting me into the system, the manager that was inputting me into the system. And he said, hey, you're a student. When you graduate, why don't you apply here and see if you can get the job? So I did. I got the job. And then that's where I met one of my very best guy friends. And he said, hey, have you ever thought about bikini competing? And I was like, I have no idea what that is. Instagram was kind of new. There wasn't such thing as like scrolling and creeping. That wasn't really a thing. So he's like, well, when the next one comes up, I'll let you know and we'll see if you want to do it. I said, cool, let's do it. Next one came up. Do you want to do it? Yes, sure, let's go. I was so naive. I wasn't checking creeping and nothing. It was a personal thing for me that like, you want to call me fat, pig, and whale? Fuck you. I'm going to go prance around on a bikini and win the whole damn show. You know what I mean? It was like a moment. And I did. I won the show. So then I just started to get really into it because I found something I was just good at. It was a passion. I love fitness. Oh my gosh, I'm good at it. Oh my gosh, yes, let's go. So I kept going. I followed my passion, right, of bikini competing. Now, in the background, my girlfriend has a son that's 2 weeks younger than Mason, and they were best friends at the time. And so while I was off doing my fitness thing, she was unfortunately looking gray in the face, tired, and looked like shit, which is her words, not mine. That's what she said. Okay, that's part of her story. So her parents have been doing Isagenix for about 4 years and have lost over 80 pounds between the two of them. And she didn't want to, she never wanted to do it because she thought it was like for old people or whatever. So when they saw her after having her son not losing a pound, looking like crap. Like, no, they said, you have to do this. So she said, okay, fine, I'll do it to prove you wrong, because we all have a 30-day satisfaction or money back guarantee, right? So she was going to exercise she was going to order it, do it, prove that it didn't work, send it back, get it for free, get her money back. But as the story always goes, of course, she had a revolutionary experience. She had a completely night and day difference. It felt like a light switch had finally been flicked on for her. I remember her saying that she finally took on about day 4, it felt like she had all this energy. So then she started to run, and she'd never been a runner before. And she's like, what am I doing? But I just need to get this energy out. So she became obsessed over it and went to Arizona, our headquarters, to learn more. She came back super fired up, really excited about everything, and we took our sons to the playground, and she's following me around with a lookbook, being like, look at all these amazing products, look at all these amazing transformations. I'm like, wow, wow, wow. She's like, yeah. So want to do it with me? And I was like, yeah, no. I'm a bodybuilder. I got it going on. I know what I'm doing. I don't need this stuff. What the hell's a meal replacement shake? No. So fast forward now 6 years, I took competing very seriously. I've won the largest amateur bodybuilding show in the world, the Arnold Classic in Ohio. And so I've been shredding down for stage, and when stage is gone, you gain the weight right back. So I was doing this for years. I call myself a serial yo-yo dieter. Through that experience, I got a really bad digestive system where I was always bloated. I ate anything, I would look like I was pregnant. I was extremely fatigued because my digestive system was shit. My metabolism was shit. My hormones were all out of whack. Your fat's what regulates hormones. And it's very popular that an athlete will actually lose their period because they have such low body fat. I actually would always get mine 2 weeks on, 2 days off for my period. 4 years, 2 weeks on, 2 days off, all the time. So I had to find more of a balance. I could not keep living like this. I was working so hard in the gym, yet I look in the mirror and I don't look anything like the effort that I'm putting in. Like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this happening to me? So I had to find more of a better answer. So I really started to dive into holistic nutrition, natural nutrition, how important that is, how let food be thy medicine, herbs, botanicals, adaptogens, how they can be so good for our body. So I reached back out to my girlfriend and I said, what is this isogenic stuff? Why do I even want to try it? And she said that, everything is 100% natural, it's science-backed and proven, we have clinical studies, we go through third-party raw material testing, etc. So I said, okay, I'll try this out, but I'm not telling a soul. I'm on my own personal journey, leave me alone. So I ordered my box came, and I ordered a system, and it took me 2 weeks, so 2 cleanse days, not the first full 30 days, where now my stomach was going in instead of pushing out. My energy was through the freaking roof, and my workouts were like insane. I was recovering so much faster. I had all this energy, I had power, I had strength, I was into it. I was like, what is this stuff? I feel like I've been reignited. Why is this happening? So I said, okay, let me see what I can do with my personal training clients, because I feel so good I can't not at least offer it to them. So I did, and I got them started, and they were all getting the same results that I was getting, which proved to me that someone who's not me, because I can follow something very black and white, someone who's more lifestyle, that they too can get the same results that I'm getting. And so that gave me the confidence to bring it online to social media. And that's where we've really been able to explode. Social media is a beautiful thing. You're able to put one post out there and reach thousands of people. So I actually went into the tanning salon. I grabbed my best friend Eleni, who's still our executive today, and I said, Eleni, you're fat, I'm fat, we need to do this, we're gonna build a team, let's go, this is the dream. She said, all right, let's go, put me down for a value pack. So I enrolled my bestie, and away we went. We actually went to Arizona, we went to an event, we learned so many things. That gave us so much confidence and fire that we wanna create this team that believes in the vision that we have, which check out the vision video that I have in here as well. And so that's where we've really been able to explode. But I'm gonna continue my story, which is, I was really uneducated when I first got started. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just following the little light of guidance that I had. It's like a foggy room, and you'd know nothing. I never grew up and said, oh, when I grow up, I want to become a professional network marketer. No, that wasn't it. I didn't even know that I would be here, right? I was a sponsored athlete. I was doing athletic stuff. I never thought that I was standing behind a demo booth table giving out free samples and painting somebody else's dream. I never thought about doing it for myself and what I could create. And now I'm starting to learn more and more about network marketing and how it's such a beautiful vehicle to really be the catalyst to our dreams. Because the truth is, it's really sad, but we are barely making enough to make ends meet, let alone get ahead. So what are we going to do? What opportunities do we have to, one, make ourselves healthier, be able to help other people get healthier, and we're going to be compensated along the way. It just made sense for me. So the first year that I did this, I really had no idea what I was doing. It was kind of a shot in the dark. I was learning a few things here and there. And it wasn't until my second year when I was first in Canada in Leader in Action, and I said, what is this Leader in Action? So I started to learn that our Leader in Action is a formula that can help scale your business. So I started to dive into that, and I wanted to be number one all the time. So what do I have to do to be number one? So that brought that awareness. So I started to work towards it. So I'm in my third year here. I make over multiple six-figure income right here from my living room, from my kitchen, being able to spend time with my family. And the fact is that every time I go out and I do something with my friends, that is a business building, income producing activity. That's me building relationships. You are a professional friend maker here. You are here just to show people that if you just have a come with me, I'll show you attitude, that you too can succeed. Because if you believe in me, do you believe that I'm going to create the vision that I have? Do you believe that I am going to create the financial abundance that I need for my family so we can say yes to the things we want to, so I can spend time with the people that I want to spend time with? Do you believe that I'm going to do that? I sure as hell hope you do, because I believe in it and I'm never going to stop, because my vision is bigger than any of my excuses. Go watch that video. But can I ask you, if you believe in me, do you believe in yourself? And if you don't believe in yourself, why is that? What area do we need to get to work at? Where do we need to get to work on? Because if you look at the people that are making the big bucks, the Emily Vavras, the Tony Robbins, etc., they have the hardest job in the entire world. I have the hardest job in the entire world. Network marketing, simple, easy. But when it comes into being a leader, it's the hardest job is helping you flip the switch and realize that you are good enough, that you can do this. That my story of being kicked out of my house when I was young, of being kicked out of high school, graduating late, my son's father doesn't even live here. He lives in a different entire country. I was doing this for so long by myself. I was doing my bikini competitions by myself. I was shredding down for stage. My health was all out of fucking whack. And out of the ashes where I was struggling so hard, I said yes to an opportunity to just try to feel better. And I just shared it a little bit. And now this has exploded into something massive. What is your story? Why are you here? What brought you here today? Because everything happens for a reason. There's no mistake that you're here. There's no such thing as a coincidence. So I want to know, what is your story? That's my story. And it's not done being made yet. I'm sure I missed a ton of stuff. But I'm excited to grow this with you. Because every time I think of something new, I just get to share it, and it's going to help grow someone. So you guys, what is your story? Because your story is your truth, that is your power, and no one can ever take that away from you. And through your story, you're gonna find relatable pieces that is gonna attract the right people that are having the same experiences, that you can show how you've done exactly what you've done and how you've become this badass fucking leader that you are. Enjoy the rest of the videos. Have fun, you guys. Arrivederci.